Mr. Shark, we've just witnessed the new film. Ready? Say that again? Hey, you didn't like it. Okay, he seems to have his mouth full, so I don't think we're going to get a proper response. But thank you very much. Okay, we need another show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is another brilliant and yet disappointing episode of our beloved
We hope not.
film Banter. We are here once again. We keep coming back. I don't know why. Why do we, Chris?
Because we're addicted to film.
We're addicted
Why
to
else?
film.
Why else would we come back and do this every week?
You got to realize you're addicted to film.
We
the old
are.
Robert Palmer song.
Yes.
there
May he
you
rest
go.
in peace. He's been dead a while now.
May he rest in peace.
10 years
of
at
course.
least.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
He was just a young guy when he died.
Yeah, he died of heart attack, cancer. I forget what it was. I
I
think it was
remember what he
cancer.
died of. I think it was probably boredom from listening to his own music, which wasn't too exciting.
I like some of his songs.
I met Robert Palmer back in the day, however. But all right, we're going to.
But anyway, good to see you. We got to do our ceremonial handshake here.
Ceremonial handshake.
Yes, very good, very good. We do welcome everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I welcome you.
I welcome you.
Yeah, no, it's good to be here.
Who knows how many more times this will happen?
Well,
so it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
So it's a good thing, but we do want to mention a little bit of news. This usually is our news segment.
Yeah.
But we realized how boring and miserable that was. So we decided
only if there isn't like a big news story.
Yeah, we got nothing to
we
tell.
felt like we were really combing the desert to find some news, and unless there was something really noteworthy, I'm just like, let's not worry about it.
So true,
So
indeed.
we're going to do.
So we're just going to mention a couple of new releases that are coming out within the next month or so.
that we're excited about.
These are film that are coming to your basic theaters that you may be sitting and watching. So here we are, Chris. So tell them the first one.
Yeah, so the first film that we're going to be talking about very briefly is coming out this week, A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
It looks like a pretty exciting horror film, directed by and starring John Krasinski,
and his
as
wife,
well as his wife, Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, of course.
That looks really
and their
good.
children are all in it too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Those are their
kidding.
kids.
That's not true.
You had me for like a split second.
And I was hoping I did.
Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, anything's possible. But I'm saying to myself, their kids aren't that old. They have little ones.
I must be honest. This movie actually premiered, I believe, at the Sundance, probably about 2 months ago.
Yeah,
about 2 months ago, and got wonderful reviews.
It looks like it's going to be really intense.
It really does. It looks very much like It Comes at Night, that film with
Joel Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton, that we always enjoy, Joel. Joel, wherever you are, we have a permanent invite for you to come and sit with us, and we'll be happy to talk to you.
He's really good.
He's a good guy.
But yeah, Quiet Place, so that opens this week, so we'll be discussing that on next week's show.
Absolutely true. Then, of course, we have Rampage.
On 4/20, we have Rampage, the big video game adaptation that I'm actually really excited about. I used to play this game.
Did you?
On Nintendo, Rampage. Did you ever
This
play
is
it?
just King Kong Jr., albino King Kong
It's
Jr.
just
here.
the video game was just these monsters destroying, I think, Chicago or New York.
Cool.
That was the game. The object was to destroy the city.
Right.
So it's fun that they came up with a silly concept for it.
It is amazing.
And of course, Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson, alias The Rock.
The man who doesn't rest.
I got to mention The Rock, man, because I went to see Pacific Rim Job this past weekend.
Yes, you did.
And there, of course, was a new film.
Skyscraper, right?
Skyscraper.
That's coming out in December.
And he's a security guard.
Yeah, and he's got like
Die Hard in reverse.
Yeah, and he's got a prosthetic leg.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a futuristic building. It looks good. Yeah, that looks good.
It did look good. It
so
did
that's
look good.
I want to say that's either June or May. June or July.
Stops.
He doesn't stop.
There he is, right there. If you see that,
that's Rampage. Yeah,
it looks like Peter Jackson's where Naomi Watts is standing in front of King.
Yeah, but you know what? What's smart about Dwayne Johnson? He is striking while that iron is hot. He's doing it. He took the mantle from Schwarzenegger. And he's running with it.
I don't believe that he's going to be. His mantle is going to be sitting very pretty for a very long time.
I'm not saying his time is running out, but he's smart. He's versatile.
He is versatile.
And he's getting better. He's getting better. And I like the guy. He seems like a really nice guy.
He may actually win an Academy Award someday.
I could see that. Maybe
happening.
When he's like 52.
Maybe when he's like 80 or he's playing an old man in a wheelchair. You know. And you never know.
You never know.
You never do.
Also opening on the same day as Rampage, we want to say that the long-awaited, much-anticipated sequel to Super Troopers 2 is coming out.
Oh, gosh.
I'll be honest, I remember I saw this movie when it first came out, and it was funny, and I've seen it a couple times, But this film, the first one, has gained such a cult following that this is going to be a fairly decent movie in terms of box office.
Oh, how exciting.
It's not going to break records, but for a comedy, I think it's going to do well. Okay. Assuming it hits theaters. I don't know for sure. I hope it's going to go to theaters.
On the same behalf, however, it's opening opposite Rampage.
With Rampage.
Which is going
and
to
then
crucify.
It's got a small window because the next week,
crucified, my friends.
On the 27th, we have the big movie so far of the year is going to be Avengers Infinity War.
Avengers Infinity
War. That looks outrageous.
It does look outrageous, man. There's
so many characters.
So many characters.
It's probably going to be.
Let's see the
there
poster.
It is. I mean, look how colorful that is.
Look at that powerful poster, dude.
Yeah, they kind of took a note from the last Thor film with the poster. It's very colorful.
It's very colorful.
30 characters.
Always a kick.
Buckling for position within the narrative.
I always enjoy to see those Avengers movies.
It's a lot of fun.
Sit through another mindless bunch of schlock where just buildings are getting destroyed and I really don't even give a damn because they always win at the end. So who really cares?
But it looks like a lot of fun and
but the
big
next
cast.
Film, true.
This movie's for you on the 18th of May.
Looking forward to once again.
Which one is it?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Deadpool 2.
Yes. You were a big fan.
I love this.
It's a fun movie. It's a lot of fun.
It's a great movie. I still like to pull it out. I have the 4K edition. I still like to pull it out like every 6-7 months or so, and just throw it on at 3 o'clock in the morning and watch it. It's a great show. Yeah. It's wonderful.
That was on what? If I remember correctly, you put that on one of your top 10 the year it came out.
Did I?
Yeah, that was 2016. You put that on your best list. I'm pretty sure.
Well, thank God you're here to remind me, what I'm thinking and what I'm doing at all times.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. I mean, I thought it was a lot of fun.
What I'm doing or thinking.
And that was Ryan Reynolds' last chance at really getting into that.
Oh, I disagree.
What I mean is he was in a lot of franchises that didn't do well, and I think this was probably a make or break for him.
Well, the only other franchise I can think that he was in, though, was Green Lantern. They didn't even pursue that.
That didn't work out. No, he's had a few other things that didn't go.
What franchises has he had?
The potential franchises, films that they thought were going to be bigger than they were.
Dude.
Of course, right now my brain is a little blank. I can't remember them all. But
why is that?
I feel like there were a few other things that they were trying to get going with him.
I understand.
And then lastly, on the 25th, movie I'm looking forward to.
Star Wars story.
Solo, a Star Wars story, the prequel of Han Solo. I am definitely cautiously optimistic. It's because of the behind the scenes drama that we had. We don't know what to expect from this film.
Correct.
Ron Howard came in to direct halfway through, actually almost towards the end of production.
I think it's going to be fun.
But I think it's going to be fun.
It's going to stay on with the Star Wars.
I'm looking forward to it.
The illusion of magic. That has pursued those films all along. I think it's going to stay within the same thing.
I think so. Disney has really got a tight leash on this stuff,
too. They don't want to play games with their money clamp there.
It does look
like fun. With their franchise. They're very big on it and so forth. Oh, damn, he says to himself. But very well then.
Yes,
so,
your studio audience is departing.
My studio audience, I bid them adieu.
Well, it was nice meeting them all.
To you and you and you.
So we're going to begin. We'll move right along to our show here.
Let's start the show, dude.
So our first film of the night
there you go, man.
Is Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, okay.
I didn't really take much of it.
Another singular piece of mammoth. Let's point out one thing. 3 of the films that I watched this particular week all had Avatar-like things in them.
Yeah,
where somebody is sitting behind the screen. Somebody is sitting in a little control-operated thing, operating another being somewhere else. Those 3 films are this. Pacific Rim Job, of course, of which I'm not a big fan. We are going to talk about that shortly.
We're going to discuss that film.
Also,
Ready Player One.
Radio Player One.
Yes.
And the third one, can you name it?
Are you going to reference the element that's in Game Over Man?
Yes.
Yes. That's a small part of the film.
Yeah, but it was still kind of
you're right.
Still was there.
You're right.
We still had that Avatar-like premise where somebody is sitting behind a screen, a booth, etc., operating another humanoid creature of incredible, fantastical abilities and so forth. But it's interesting. It is an interesting thing that Hollywood leans upon. And it is, essence there.
Virtual reality or augmented reality, as we can call it, is very popular now.
Augmented reality.
Yeah,
that's where I live. That's where my brain goes every day.
That really is going to be a huge part of the entertainment of the future.
So true, dude.
You're such a drug pusher, man. You're pushing me. Say no, but I'll say yes.
Okay. But it's true indeed. But let us begin the beginning.
I'm a little rusty.
Let us.
Here, give it
now
back.
it is time. Begin.
Your favorite song by Cole Porter.
Cole Porter for you, 1937.
Yes. So Ready Player One, for those of you who've been under a rock, is Steven Spielberg's latest directorial
Dwayne
effort.
Johnson?
Yeah, but not that rock.
Hey.
Yeah. Although he's getting big enough that you could hide underneath him.
You could almost hide underneath the man.
So basically, Ready Player One is an adaptation of a famous novel that came out in 2011. It was very popular.
It is.
It's about virtual reality. The premise, I'm just going to read a synopsis here. It says, when the creator of a virtual reality world called the Oasis dies, he releases a video in which he challenges all Oasis users to find his Easter egg, which will give the finder his fortune. And that's the premise for the most part. We get an idea here of a dystopian future that takes place in 2045, where everything is miserable. People live in these trailer parks, basically, that are stacked one on top of each other. The focus of this film is one in particular kid that lives in one of these parks in Columbus, Ohio, and spends, like everybody else, most of his free time.
Deluxe.
Yeah, and he spends most of his free time in the augmented reality of the Oasis, kind of like the Matrix on steroids, where you can be anything you want, and there's movie references galore all over the place.
There are.
You have an avatar where you look like somebody totally different.
You can look at whoever you want. This is kind of a dream world.
It is. Everybody has a moniker in there. You don't say your real name.
Nobody says who they are.
Yeah.
But when you die in this particular world, I think if you die 3 times, then you actually...
well, you don't die in real life, but you lose all your coinage.
Oh, that's true.
And you got to start from scratch.
All your Bitcoin.
And some people spend years and years, if not over a decade, building up this fortune within this fantasy world.
So. Yeah.
And you can buy things at the virtual store.
Which was funny. You see these little men sitting in office buildings, and they suddenly get killed. And,
yeah. What's cool is that you can buy, you use your coinage to buy something within the game, but you pick to have it shipped to the real world. And then you get out of your game, and there's a package with your new jumpsuit on. You can have sensations.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the main character is a kid named Wade, played by Ty Sheridan.
He's very good.
Yeah, he's good. We saw him in Mud and Joe. Those movies. Mud was a movie that he did with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, okay.
And he did a movie called Joe, which was actually very good with Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was the new Cyclops in the X-Men Apocalypse.
Interesting.
We have the villain in this film was played by the Australian actor Ben Mendelsohn, who is the head of a rival corporation who wants to get this Easter egg and control this Oasis for the benefit of his company and control everything. Because everybody pretty much is addicted to this.
I know.
And so, in essence, who controls the Oasis controls everything.
Controls everything.
But anyway, and then the founder, the brilliant guy that created the Oasis that died is played by the British actor Mark Rylance.
He was wonderful. Isn't he a Doctor Who?
No, but he won the Oscar. He won the Oscar Best Supporting Actor for Bridge of Spies.
Did he?
Yeah, and he was in the Monster Calls that you liked.
Oh my God, he looks so totally different.
He's got a big wig and
No, he looks like Garth kind of.
He kind of does. Yeah, party on, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
But
he was wonderful.
He was good in this film.
He was very good, very natural. There he is, right there.
There he is, Mark Rylance.
Check him out, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
There he
is. But
I
got to say right off the bat that I really enjoyed Ready Player One.
Did you?
I thought it was fantastic. I probably enjoyed it more than some of the more recent Spielberg films. It was just a lot of... I liked The Post too.
Did you?
But I just thought this was a really good old time.
Yeah.
It's a classic Hollywood big popcorn movie with a ton of references from my generation when I was a kid, the 80s.
Very true.
Music, there's a cartoon character, video games, there's just movie references throughout. I had a blast watching this movie, and it was a little long, but I really enjoyed it.
It's 2 hours and 16 minutes long, and I must say I agree with you. Though I didn't love it. You kind of know where these films are going in your own mind. You know that the one little dark horse kid is going to prevail. It's just the nature of cinema these days, and it is the nature of movies that are specifically designated for a younger group, of which this is.
It is.
I'm very surprised that over the last 4 days, however, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that this film only took in about 53 mil.
Well, that's what it was projected. Remember, we discussed the projections about a week ago.
These incredible, box office titans within the past, couple weeks.
Black Panther, which was a force to be reckoned with,
and then it was knocked off the circuit board by Pacific Rim. But and they're all just doing hundreds of millions of dollars.
I know.
So I kind of blew me away when a movie of this scope, and they pushed this movie quite a bit online.
It's been getting quite a bit.
A lot of press,
online
and so
advertising,
forth, a lot of good reviews. And yet, of course, the people who read the book, you always hear, I hated it, 1 star, blah, blah, blah.
There's always going to be the haters, the fanboy haters.
Taylor Swift said it well. The haters love to hate, and that's the way it is. and you cannot change them. But I enjoyed this film.
So did I.
I thought there was a classic element to it. It ain't The Wizard of Oz.
No,
but there is a beauty to the end result.
Yeah, I agree.
And a tear did, as in most Spielbergian films. You know, the one thing I thought he blew it on was using, once again, John Williams as his score writer, as his...
well, he couldn't because John Williams was busy, that's why.
Well,
he used Alan Silvestri, who did Back to the Future, which is a big presence in this film. Williams was busy when this movie was being scored. I don't know what he was doing, but he's busy.
But you know...
Because obviously the two of them are mano a mano. Well, they didn't have a downfall or anything, you know?
That was the worst part about the film for me, was the music. If the whole thing had been played with synthesizer,
well, that would have been great.
It would have been great, and it would have updated it. But this was just, I know you are, but this was just your standard
It was a standard
Hollywood
score. Yeah, I agree.
It just, momentumized each individual scene to the extent that it could, which is usually not that much. You know, the best score, of course, as anyone will ever tell you, is the one that you don't notice.
It's
when
true.
you're watching a movie, you don't want to
doesn't draw attention to itself.
If it draws attention to itself. But I think this would have been better had they updated their technology a bit, and rather than using the standard orchestral sound, specifically for a film like this.
Go more electric. I know what you're saying. I would like to see that version. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool.
But overall, though, it's a very enjoyable film. I was really impressed with the sheer amount of licensing they were able to get to include into the film, because I know the book is heavy on that, and I read an article saying that they were not able to get anything from Disney, so there's no Marvel material in the film. There's no Star Wars, obviously, and Spielberg himself took himself out of the equation, which I believe was heavily in the book. I haven't read it, but I hear he said, I don't want anything that's too self-referential. So he didn't want to be having E.T. moments within the film.
Well,
there was a T-Rex, though, which obviously made me think of Jurassic Park.
Of course.
But anyway, we got some people talking tonight. They changed
it is. Hey, look, the old nerd is
None
here.
of the challenges are the same at all.
There you go. It's
Great
the
scene
old
with the
nerd.
cuts
Ladies
of the
and gentlemen,
camera
free round of
playing the game. So
applause for
funny.
the old nerd.
Yeah, thanks, guys. The old nerd, thank you.
It's so good to see him. I disagree, says Mick.
I think the long-haired dude isn't young enough to understand the film.
Mick. This is for
I
you.
never listened to the music watching the movie, only Black Panther. I disagree. The music was awesome. Great Gatsby, good music.
In the movie.
They did change it, but it was still good movie. So, okay. Well, thanks for the input, guys.
Thank you, Calamity.
I definitely would like to read the book. I bet you there's. I don't know. Are there more books? I think there might be others, right?
I don't want to read the damn book.
They've gone with a trilogy, one movie.
Is a visual, a visual sight.
But it lends itself to possibly other things. Maybe I would prefer, maybe keep it self-contained. But
there you go.
I don't know. Are there other books? I'd like to know.
It'd be very difficult to describe every little moment.
There's just so many things going on in this movie.
So many things going on in this film. That,
Sensory overload in a way.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words, that book should be literally 3,000 pages
I'm sure it was a big book. You know what was funny in the film? T.J. Miller. I enjoyed him.
I enjoyed him too. I didn't even notice that it was him doing the voice until about halfway through. I kept going, who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
And then it just strikes you.
It just hit me. That's T.J. Miller, of course, who is coming up in our beloved Deadpool 2.
Yes, he's in Deadpool 2.
He plays the bartender in Deadpool 2.
He does, yeah.
He's the guy who started the Deadpool, which, of course, we were going to begin our own Deadpool.
We were thinking about doing a Deadpool as well.
But then we sort of changed our mind because McPick is here. And I said, McPick, no, forget it. No Deadpool with McPick around. So there you go, Calamity Jane.
But I agree, it is nice when movies make people read. That's always nice.
All right,
yeah.
So let us move on.
We're going to move on now.
We
both really, I give a big yes to Ready Player One.
Yes,
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
A good yes. I mean, it was sensory overload to some major extent.
And did you do the IMAX? I assume you did, or you did 3D? You always do, right?
I did do the IMAX.
I went standard 2D. I didn't want all that.
IMAX 3D. I went all out.
Okay.
I went crazed and confused. I sat there, just being mind blown, because it was a film, I think, to relish on IMAX. But as we all know, the IMAX is only good for the moment that we're sitting there in the theater watching it. When you get home and years later, when you remember a film, you don't remember how you saw it.
No, that's true.
You just remember, I saw that movie.
Well, honestly, I have a sick mind that I will remember, for the most part, which theater I've seen every movie in. Like, I can tell you that I saw Jurassic Park when it opened at the Hawthorne Movie Theater, Hawthorne, New Jersey. I know that I saw Breakdown 4 times in the theater, twice at Willowbrook, twice at the Garden State, at Route 4 Tenplex. Doesn't matter, but
very good. Nobody cares.
Doesn't matter. I care.
All right.
Anyway, we're going to move on.
Let's go on to
Pacific Rim Uprising, the sequel to Guillermo del Toro's film. Please do.
I'd like to give the plot to
Would you like to read it?
No, I don't
wrote
need
it
to read
myself.
it. Okay, here's the plot to Pacific Rim.
Here we go. It's going to be negative, right?
There's a bunch of robots, and the robots go up against other robots, which are the bad guys, and then, I'm in the spoiler, the good guys win.
Yeah.
And that's the whole movie.
Well, no,
in
they
a
go up
nutshell.
against monsters.
This is,
and
that's
rogues.
true, they do go up against, basically this
And
is
there is
Godzilla.
a robot, a rogue robot, yeah.
Right. This is a Godzilla meets Megatron movie.
Pretty
made
much.
in Japan in 1958.
Pretty much.
Or Godzilla versus Mothra.
I know what
or
you're
whatever.
saying, yeah.
It's the same
Yeah.
basic film. However, they gave it that $200 million upgrade. It's a great looking movie. It really is. It looks good, but I just felt that the core, the very essence, the heart of this film is just worthless to a major extent. I did enjoy Daniel Boyega there.
He was very good,
I thought he was very, very
good. John Boyega is very good in this film.
John Boyega, he's
I thought,
terrific.
honestly,
There he
he's
is.
really becoming a really good,
He was
good
fine.
actor. I like
and
him.
And he did his British accent through the O film.
Yeah.
So you know he's like a British guy and so forth. So and sometimes I couldn't even understand what he was saying. Could you?
He's not that heavy. He's not Michael Caine heavy.
Well, he's pretty thick there.
Oh,
you know.
Owner, to answer your question, I don't think Daryl. I'm going to answer your question. Daryl's not a hater.
Haters gonna hate.
No,
Mike.
he
You got it, dude.
He goes into movies wanting to love them.
I do.
But when he doesn't like something, he doesn't mind telling you how much he hates
I just didn't
it.
like.
Yeah.
I really, truly did not like Pacific Rim. I thought it was a visually stunning kind of film. I thought it was. It was okay. I liked but at the end of the film, I just went away going, I just need to get out of here.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's because I just saw a Radio Player. I
Ready
saw
Player One.
Radio Player One, literally 2 days before.
I see. So
and
maybe
I
you're-
was at the point of claustrophobic overload.
Yeah.
I just needed. No, I don't want to watch another movie where I'm just sitting there, hammering explosions into my inner ear for an
But you
entire
have to concede, it's better
solid
than
hours.
Transformers movies. I mean, Pacific Rim I thought it was.
What's the difference, really? The only difference in the Transformers movies that some of them talking like this. Okay.
Which is annoying, actually.
was
the way
annoying.
that they
I didn't care for
the
that.
way that they brought the characters to life in the new Transformers
It
were
was
not that great.
horrifying.
But I'm gonna tell you about Pacific Rim 2 Uprising that.
Sharknado, Calamity Jane.
Yeah, I really actually,
funny.
to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't want to see, as you might remember from last week's show, I didn't really want to see Pacific Rim.
Rim.
I didn't want to.
But you did.
But I went. And I'll be honest with you, I really enjoyed it.
I know.
I enjoyed it more than the first one.
Wow.
I did. Yeah, this was just, this was more entertaining for me. I felt the scope of the film was a little bigger, and I don't mean in terms of the action. I mean in terms of we get to see a little bit more of the world. I liked learning about the post-war of this Pacific Rim area, all the countries that are around the rim in the Pacific Ocean. I love learning. Oh, look, there's a skeleton of the creature from the first movie, like that.
Oh, look.
I liked seeing how John Boyega's character was kind of he was kind of a petty thief. He was out on his own, a scoundrel, and then he gets sucked back into the life.
The little girl
she was
good,
excellent.
too. No,
she was very good.
The acting was fine.
Yeah.
It's just basically we've seen this film a zillion
You
times
have, but
before.
I was still entertained by it. I thought that the actor, his name is Bern Gorman. He played the lanky British guy with the cane. He was the scientist.
Oh, okay.
He was a lot of fun. He had a couple of funny lines in the film.
I'll tell you
I
who
enjoyed
did
his
not
performance.
Who I did not like in this film was Charlie Day.
I like him, but I
like
thought
Charlie, but that whole bit where
I
he's
know
saying
what you're
there,
saying.
There's one scene there where he's just kind of standing on a rooftop.
I know what you're
get
talking
him,
about.
Get him.
Yeah.
It was so benign and so silly and so stupid.
I didn't love that moment either.
Charlie Day is just the poor man Sam Rockwell.
He kind of
no
is,
question.
but I still like him.
He's
like
him too.
I love him on Always Sunny.
He's great.
He's perfect
on
there.
Sunny in Philadelphia. He's a good
He was
guy.
good in Fist Fight, but he plays that same kind of a guy. I love that
plays
he's
a
got
wise
this
ass.
whine. He's always like, come on. I like
He's
that.
a whiny little
Yeah.
shit.
But
Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
him.
Much like the old nerd.
Is he? I
Yeah,
think he
he's a
whines.
whiny little shit too. Yeah.
Wait, shocking climax. All right. Okay, cool. The only that I can relate
He's so
popped out
pooped
thing.
out.
Oh.
I guess so.
But anyway,
there
I
you
recommend Pacific Rim 2. I thought it was a lot of fun. I was
Yeah.
entertained.
Okay.
But
I'm
is
glad you were.
it a groundbreaking film?
No.
Are you going to remember it? Maybe not. But it's perfect, as you say, bubblegum popcorn for the brain.
It's bubblegum for the brain.
But you are
absolutely.
not going to recommend it.
It is mental
Would you say
masturbation.
skip it?
It was just a sensory overload
Yeah.
for me once again. So I can't say I like the film very much at all. I just felt we've seen it all before. Just this is with a $250 million budget to
Yeah.
make it look really ultra great. So, and listen, my future is so bright that's why I wear shades. I just want you all to know that. So that's it right there. But all right, let us move on.
We're gonna move on.
I'm going to kind of give Pacific Rim a little bit of a no.
Okay.
No
All right, so a
dice
split
there.
vote.
Didn't love it. Didn't love it.
Didn't love it.
But if any of you did love it, well, then you're all wrong. That's all I want to say. You're just all wrong.
All right, we're all wrong.
Okay, dude.
So we're going to move on.
You know, it's great to see Calamity. It's good to see you, and it's good to see the Nerd.
Yeah.
You know, you
We
were here a
appreciate
couple
it.
weeks ago, or actually you were here 3 weeks ago.
And McPick, thank you for
when
coming
we
in
did
too.
our first show, and we're so glad to see the Nerd because, you know, he doesn't have YouTube.
Wherever he
where
lives.
he lives.
Yeah.
Nerd, where do you live?
I'd love
Where
to
do
know.
you live, Nerd?
We've actually been wondering for 3 weeks now since we first met you.
Where you live. You
Yeah.
don't have YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, because I do recall that I was dreaming about it in my sleep, and I was thinking to myself, you know, that old nerd, he doesn't have YouTube, the damn guy. So what is that
So anyway,
about?
he'll get to us if he
All right,
chooses.
all right.
We're going to move on to a film that is available now to watch on Amazon
Yes.
Prime, Amazon Video. All the Money in the World, Ridley Scott's last film that came out at the end of the year.
No, I wish I had it.
About the John Paul Getty kidnapping. John
Correct.
Paul Getty III, to be
Many
exact.
of you are way too young to
Yeah.
remember the John Getty.
I think it even happened before
J.
I was
Paul
born.
Getty, yes, absolutely.
But yeah, so it's a story about a young boy who gets kidnapped in Italy. His grandfather was the famous head of the Getty oil conglomerate, you could say.
Originally
Which
played by Kevin Spacey,
Yes.
and then recast
With Christopher
as
Plummer.
Christopher Plummer.
Within a couple weeks, and they shot 22 scenes in
wait,
2 weeks.
is that Kevin
That's
Spacey?
what Kevin Spacey looked like,
There you
and
go.
that's Christopher Plummer
There's
now.
Christopher Plummer
He
there.
came in at the witching hour
Yeah.
to replace, and they shot all these scenes in an impressively short period of time.
They did.
And I think Christopher
2
Plummer
weeks.
almost steals the entire movie. Him and
I thought
Michelle
he was
Williams
amazing.
are excellent in this film.
Yeah, yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's in it as well. And it's just the whole gist of it is Michelle Williams, who plays the boy's mother, the kidnapped boy's mother, trying to get her father-in-law to just pay the ransom. And Paul Getty's stance is that, well, if I pay this ransom, everybody's going to
Maybe
want a
one
ransom
of my other
paid.
14
Yeah.
grandchildren
Yeah.
will be
Exactly.
kidnapped and ransomed
He's
off.
a hard guy.
But this is, in fact, a true story.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
This happened in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I was there when I wasn't there, but I do recall it well. This young man was he was in Rome. He was confiscated in a van. He
Yes.
was picked up because they knew his grandfather was the richest man in the world.
At that point
At
in
that
history.
point in
Yeah.
history. So
Yeah.
they confiscate this guy. And basically, there he is with his ear cut off
Yeah.
in that photograph
Which
on
really
screen
happened.
right now, courtesy of Adam, our beloved behind-the-scenes guy. Ladies and gentlemen, a brief round of applause for Adam.
We're
Because,
indebted to your service, sir.
Without the apple, Adam was nothing. But here with us right now, you know, he's
And on this
fantastic.
eve,
He's-
he is here for us.
But hey, you mean right now? On
Yeah.
this eve, Adam is here.
Yeah, that was good.
I'll tell you, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And
Yes,
I'll
it
tell
does.
that to your father, sir.
Please do.
But I really love this
Me
film.
too.
This is a Ridley Scott
Ridley
movie.
Scott. It's a beautiful looking film.
Beautiful
Yeah,
looking film.
gorgeous.
Ridley.
You had told me there was something you said that you liked about this film with the tone of coloring,
well,
right?
you know, Ridley Scott has a tendency. He did it in Gladiator. Certain scenes, some of the dream sequence.
Take care,
he would
Calamity
just
Jane.
kind of he would pull out of the full color, and he would kind of drain it a little bit, and then he'd add like a tint of blue, etc. It was just wonderful, and this movie just looks spectacular.
Gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous film. It's beautifully made. It's beautifully acted.
Yeah.
There's the young man who, the grandson who is
Yes.
kidnapped, and there's Michelle
And
Williams.
his name
who
is Charlie
dynamite.
Plummer, no relation.
No plumber whatsoever
Yeah.
to the plumber. He might be a relation to one of the plumbers on set who was actually cleaning out the toilet at the time. But that, of course, is just a. That's
And
just a
yes,
reach.
owner, we were speaking about that, Daryl and I, in the car ride down here. Somebody did blow away some people over at YouTube, but nobody was killed,
Yeah,
thank
this
God.
is very true.
The shooter, female shooter, apparently
Yeah, here
took
we
her
go.
own
The
life.
internet. Speaking of YouTube, someone just got murdered at YouTube.
Yeah.
Accounting of Reddit. The female woman is dead, and the gunman is still alive. But I believe the female
really?
woman
Was
owner-
the gunman? That's what we
no,
heard.
No, she was one of the suspects.
Well, we heard that. Well, what I heard on this afternoon was that the female shooter is dead. So maybe there's more to the story
Correct.
we're learning.
She
That
is
could be
dead.
updated. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nerd, for
Thank
that
you for that.
update. Because
Appreciate
you know
that.
we were all sitting here wondering.
You have no YouTube, but you do have
We
Reddit.
don't give a
That's
damn
cool.
about reviewing these films. We just want to read the news from the Nerd.
Thank you.
And so, thank you. Wait, speaking of YouTube, he says he still won't tell us what country
I think he doesn't
he's
want to
in.
tell us.
He doesn't want to tell us what country
It's
he's
okay.
in. Listen, we don't care if you're in. You know.
We're just curious what country is
he
oppressive.
probably lives in Vatican City.
Oh, maybe
You
it's
know,
maybe
that
it's
is a
Vatican
country,
City.
you know.
I know it is
Vatican
within itself.
City is a small country
Yeah.
in Rome.
That's interesting.
I know it's in Italy. I mean.
Yeah, and you
So-
know what I meant to say before, not to interrupt you, but they're also retelling this John Paul Getty story currently right now on
Yes.
FX.
Correct.
The series is called Trust. I haven't watched it yet, but the entire series I believe was directed by the great Danny Boyle.
No.
I kind of want to see it.
I'd kind of like to see
because
it
I
too.
love anything Danny.
And somebody
who might
famous-
be doing the next Bond film.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you
Oh,
were
I don't
saying-
know about that.
What were you saying
I
about
don't know
who's
about
in?
Danny doing the Bond
That might
film.
be cool.
Might be good.
He's done everything else. Why can't he do a Bond
He
film?
does have a beautiful sense of visual
He's good.
aspect. I
He's-
do love
he's
Danny.
brilliant.
Of course.
What were we going to say? Somebody that's in trust? Yeah, there are some noteworthy people in there.
Mudslide Millionaire. What was it? Slumdog Millionaire.
And I love what he did with. I didn't love the film. I liked the film. I didn't love it, but 127 hours. What he was able to do to make that claustrophobic setting engaging with the sound design.
A lot of flashbacks.
When he has to cut his nerve in his hand and he used that strong sound.
Brutal.
Oh God, it really got me. That was great.
Me too.
Danny Boyle is amazing.
He is amazing.
He's great.
And then, of course, he did Transpounders,
Trainspotting 1 and 2.
Transpotting,
he did that.
Wet Spotting, Bedwetting, Volume 2 and 3, I think he did. But absolutely.
You know what's a great Danny Boyle film that everybody should see that probably nobody's heard of?
Which one?
It's a film called Millions. Check it out.
Oh, right.
It came out, I'd say, close to 10 years ago, and it's just about 2 little boys. I think it's either in Scotland or Ireland. I forget which country. And they find a suitcase full of money.
Forgive me, but the reflection off your forehead is so
I know.
great.
I projected films on this forehead. Many of them.
Doing that
Pretty soon it's going to have to be IMAX presentation as this hairline continues to go back.
I'll have to hand you $21 just to sit here and talk
That'd be great. I'll take that.
I bet you would, indeed.
But definitely check out Millions. It's a cool little
very
film.
Well, indeed.
It's
We're
great.
getting off the subject
But anyway,
here.
All the Money in the World. Highly recommend it.
Really great
It's a very
film.
good film. Check it out.
He's done some little emojis up there.
Yeah.
Not quite sure.
Well, he has a cross. He has what I think is, I don't know who that is. Some kind of a person. Is that a basketball player?
I'm not
and
sure.
then there's the Illuminati he shows us.
I think we might be better off just ignoring the O-Nerd.
Is he just distracting us?
I think he's just distracting us because that's what he does.
We've asked for active viewers, and tonight we have it.
We asked for the O-Nerd, and ladies and gentlemen, he's back, and now we just want to ignore him. But no, I really don't.
Not really.
And I'm going to take your advice, and I shall put the glasses back on.
Anything else to say about All the Money in the World?
I loved it. I thought it was great. It's a little bit lengthy. It's about 2 hours and 11 minutes long, and I did enjoy it very much. I was swept into it.
Me too.
I love the way the kidnappers, there was one specific kidnapper who had a heart. Everybody in this film is relatable to in every aspects of everything. Michelle Williams, Christopher Plummer, you see everybody's side for some odd reason.
Yeah.
It's just a little brilliant piece of imaging and imagining by our amazing director Ridley Scott, who's just up there.
Another man who doesn't know how to rest.
Just one of the greatest on the planet.
He's a treasure.
Film after film after film. And made thousands of commercials. I don't believe thousands.
Hundreds. He was a prominent commercial director before films.
With his brother Tony Scott.
Who I miss so much.
He jumped off the bridge Tony Scott. About 10 years ago now, I guess. So, You
know what, O-Nerd, to answer your question, I have been interested in seeing Isle of Dogs. I haven't gotten there yet, but I will go see it for you. Isle of Dogs. What did I say?
You said I love dogs.
No, Isle of Dogs. Isle of Dogs.
I love
That's
dogs.
What I said. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I love dogs.
Yeah.
It's Isle of Dogs. You just said I love dogs. I want to see I love dogs. I want to see I love dogs. But it's Isle.
I wouldn't see a film called I Love Dogs, though.
I know.
You would, because you're a dog lover.
I would indeed.
Yeah. But anyway.
But the Pretenders, actually, Chrissy Hind of the Pretenders, she put out an album many years ago, and it was called Isle of View.
Oh.
Right? And this was a live album they did. It was actually an acoustic album.
Yeah.
But when you said it fast, it was like, I love you.
Oh, that's funny.
But hey.
Yeah. All right, so should we move on? Are you ready?
We should move on, indeed.
All right, so right now we're going to cut to, we're actually going to do 3 consecutive films
I'm going to give you a brief cut right here.
Oh, please.
There you go.
We're going to do a few films now, 3 to be exact, that are currently on Netflix. There are 3 Netflix originals, which hopefully the O-Nerd has access to.
The O-Nerd probably can't see Netflix.
Yes, O-Nerd, I liked Fantastic Mr. Fox. I've seen every Wes Anderson film.
Yeah.
Now Isle of Dogs is the last one I need to see.
Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs.
Yeah, I love dogs.
Yes. Okay, so
I do too.
Back to the topic at hand. So the first film we're going to do is The Outsider, starring Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Do you want to do the premise, or shall I?
I'd be happy to. Okay. Jared Leto is in prison in Japan.
Post-war
Japan, which is a very nice scenario there.
Yes.
I think it does capture the flavor of post-war Japan. Not that I'm really familiar with it. I must be frank.
Yeah.
Strangers in the night.
Not that frank.
No, not that frank. Hey. But
I'm finishing your jokes now.
Well, thank God you are, because no one else will. I certainly can't get the O-Nerd to do it, damn it. But this movie is set where Jared Leto. I'm going to start right off the bat here. There he is, centered in
right
that
there with
photo.
the Yakuza.
This is the most non-acting performance by a human being in the history of film.
It's extremely low key.
It's so minimalistic, and yet it's effective.
Yeah.
He is.
Well, that's what the
effective.
role needed, I think.
Yeah. So it is a film about a man who is, he's in Japan, and in prison he kind of bonds with his cellmate at one particular point. He gets out, he is then asked, and he proceeds to join the Yakuza.
Because this guy was a high-level Yakuza
is
guy.
Japanese, like these are place for people to go to. It is basically the Japanese mafia.
Pretty much.
Is what the Yakuza
Yeah.
is. So, of
Intense.
course, Jared here goes through a series of almost tribunal, kind of a gauntlet, if you will. He gets this amazing tattoo, which I would imagine he had to sit through a few times.
Oh, yeah, it's all henna tattoos that can stay on for an extended period of time.
Oh,
I'm pretty
cool.
sure that's what it is. Although I can't speak to this film, but a lot of actors do use henna, which is temporary. It washes out after like a few weeks.
You know, I wouldn't mind getting one of those tattoos.
It's pretty cool.
Right there. I'd like to get it on right on my face.
I agree with you, McPick. The style of filmmaking, stop action, is impressive. I have zero patience for that kind of filmmaking if I were to embark on it, but I applaud those that do, and it looks gorgeous.
You know, Nerd, I got to disagree with you. Justin Timberlake is not jealous at all because Jared Leto has already won an Academy Award for Dallas Buyers Club.
Yes.
He played a transgender person in that. This man can act.
Oh, he's a great actor.
He is a great actor.
He's come a long
check
way
him out
from
in Blade
My
Runner,
So-Called Wife.
Blade Runner
Wife.
2049.
Yeah.
He's spectacular
He's good.
in that film. The man just...
Requiem for a Dream.
Exactly. Well, that
Haunting.
was one of his first films.
Yeah, one of his
Darren Aronofsky
Yeah,
film
Aronofsky.
from,
2000, 2001,
many
roughly,
years ago.
maybe late 90s.
Jennifer Connelly film also.
Yeah.
But did I love The Outsider? It also features, it's just basically about his integration within this Yakuza.
Yes.
And he makes enemies, he makes friends.
Yes. He falls in love,
he falls
as
in
he
love
must.
with a young girl and impregnates her, actually.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Not a big spoiler alert, I don't think.
I
but,
think that was not really a surprise.
That was knocked up, really a surprise.
Yes.
But,
Ba-dum-bum.
he in fact... I didn't love this film because it is a little bit like Jared Leto's performance, a little bit too laid back for me. It also features 3 of the most graphic throat
There are
slits.
some awesome deaths in this movie.
Yeah, but they're all throat slits, pretty much.
Well, one of them is a throat stabs, and then the other was
Yeah,
and there's
the end scene where he goes in.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
But mostly that big fat guy. There's one big fat Japanese guy.
He gets multiple stab wounds.
Well, he gets also his throat slit.
How about, without saying what character was that good stomach cut? That was pretty good. There's a character that has a stomach slash that's good.
It is a violent film,
Very
no question
violent.
about it.
Bloody.
I thought it was almost gratuitously so. I don't think we needed all that much. You know, you see one throat slashing, you kind of seen them all.
You know what? I love throat
very similar.
cuts in movies.
Do you?
I love how good the effect of a throat cut is. I love the first one that I remember seeing in a film, and I'll never forget it because it was shocking, was in Die Hard 2. When they cut that guy's throat. I'm like, oh my God, that was so unexpected.
Well, maybe you want to be a director subliminally because, they always go,
I know. Cut, yeah, but
Eastern
Promises had some of the best.
Eastern Promises was a great movie.
Cronenberg, one of my heroes.
I love that film.
But I'm going to say that I really liked The Outsider. I probably liked it a lot more than you did.
Yeah,
this film has some
by
incredible atmosphere for me that sucked me in. There are some montages set to music that really grip me, specifically when it's similar to in The Godfather where they're cleaning house. All these people are getting killed during the christening. This has a similar thing where the Yakuza is getting revenge in a montage. Yeah, and it's beautiful. It has this haunting music. I love Japan. I love the culture. I'm fascinated by the culture, and I thought this was really cool. It was interesting that it took place post World War II. I liked seeing a lot of the effect that the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki had on the culture. It's mentioned a little bit. No, but they talk a little bit about the culture.
Very, very minimal.
But the standout to me for this film was the gentleman that he befriends who plays the high-level ranking Yakuza. His name is, God forgive me if I get it wrong, it's Tadanobu Asano. He was excellent.
don't forgive you.
I know. Yeah, thank you. He had such an expressive face. He was very
The
good.
old man you're speaking of.
Well, the guy that was
You mean his best friend?
his best friend.
His best friend was
who's
wonderful.
the brother
Yeah.
of the girl he falls in love
Correct,
with.
correct.
He was
No,
very
he
good.
was
Everybody
very
was
good.
excellent in this film.
Everybody was very
Even
good.
the nasty, the other clan of Yakuza that they're fighting with the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
movie. It's a power struggle. They're very
Well,
good.
we have some
good faces.
we have some debauchery that goes on when some
Yeah.
people from the clan that Jared's on go over and kind of traitor themselves out to the other clan. There he is right there. There's
Yeah.
a man who you were finding a fine actor.
Yeah, the film
looks
is
very
it's in
much
Japanese
like,
as well. Yeah,
Looks a little like Toshiro Mifune.
there are subtitles.
Toshiro Mifune. Yeah, there are subtitles at certain aspects of the film, but a lot of people do speak English. It's a well-made movie, I have to say. It just was a little bit too low-key. Jared's performance, this non-performance kind of just lukewarm. I hate to use that reference that I do all the time. It's just, when a person dies, that flatlining. And this film, pretty much through the whole thing, except for some of the great violent scenes, I think it kind of flatlined for me. I didn't love it as much as you, but I appreciated it.
Yeah.
I did.
There is one thing, though, the film for me lacks, and I think this must have been a deliberate choice by the filmmakers, by the writers, is that we really don't learn too much about Jared Leto in this film. We don't really get a good idea
That's
why he goes and
one of
joins
my
the
complaints.
Yakuza.
One of my
It's like
complaints.
we want to know more about him, which at the same time, that's a good film that makes you want to know more. Like, if we didn't give a crap, then okay, the filmmakers kind of maybe failed. But
Yeah, but at the same time,
we know he's a soldier, an ex-soldier. He's kind of a deserter in a way.
if this was a mini-series, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But because it's a single standalone film,
We should
which
know
it
more is what you're saying.
You want to know more because this is your only chance to get to know more. You're not going to have
I
another
do agree with
chance.
that, yeah.
And I would have liked to have seen a little
I would have
bit-
liked to have known a little more
and
about
to know
him.
why he was such a deadpan kind of a, singular, one-mode, one-dimensional human being, which he clearly is in this film.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to, I truly would have liked
He
to
becomes
have,
a soldier for the Yakuza. He becomes a good foot soldier.
He sacrifices his life.
Yeah.
He literally, there's a scene there where to present yourself that you have made the ultimate sacrifice to the opposition gangs that you are against, you have to cut your fingers off.
Oh, that was crazy.
That
yeah.
was a crazy
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
So Jared just lays down his fingers and just takes that knife, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
spoiler.
doesn't even crack a hurt or a smile or a nothing.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
just
that was a
like,
spoiler.
This is business on the day. Chop, chop, 2 fingers, done.
Yeah.
So they're of course shocked when they see that he's still alive.
Nerd, it's Jared Leto.
It's Jared Leto, dude.
Oh, you're saying we don't pronounce the T enough? We don't emphasize the T. It sounds like a D. Is Jared Leto?
Leto.
All right,
Okay,
Leto.
Later, man.
I talked
Later.
fast, so it could have gone either way.
I say later, man.
But,
Get
anyway,
it? Or later, man.
we
How's
still-
that? Later.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you very
so we
much.
both recommend The Outsider.
To some extent,
yeah,
I
to some
do. I
extent.
appreciated the film. I did not love it, however.
Okay.
The old nerd. What is that thing with the guy with his hand like
It's
this?
like this, shaking my head like,
What's that rubbish about?
Yeah.
Cringe. Oh, there you go. It's a cringe, thing.
Mute
So-
the screen. Okay, unmute.
We're going to move on, right? So we're going to
There
do
you go.
another Netflix
I
film.
applaud you, sir. I applaud you.
Thanks for chiming in.
He's amusing, even though he's demented at the same time.
We're going to chime in with, we're going to start with
Game Over,
Man.
man. Game
Another
Over.
Netflix film.
I know.
What?
I said I know.
Oh, you know, yes.
Yes.
So this film is, the title alone.
A comedy.
Do you know an interesting piece of trivia?
Well, this, of course, is from Aliens.
The title
Bill
alone
Paxton.
is a tribute to Bill Paxton.
It is, in fact,
yeah,
a
which
tribute.
is great.
It is a tribute.
Game Over, man.
So, Game Over Man, this film was done by the makers of the show and stars of the show, Workaholics, which I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with. I've
I'm not
heard of
either.
it.
Yeah.
I know Adam Devine, who seems to be in a lot of films these days,
quite a
is
bit.
in that show, co-writer on this movie.
Yes.
The premise is pretty simple. 3 guys that are housekeepers in a major hotel, are kind of caught up in a
Invaded.
die-hard situation.
They're invaded by terrorists.
Who want to basically get money from a very rich guy that's staying at the hotel,
Correct.
who is like a sultan, a
Right.
big guy, like
Well,
a
he's
prince
not
in the
a
Middle
sultan.
East.
I think he's a rapper.
No.
Isn't he a
well, they're
rapper?
calling him the Bey of Saudi Arabia or
I thought
something.
he was like a
I
rapper.
feel like he's no, he's royalty from somewhere in the Middle East.
Oh, very well.
But he's very Americanized. He grew up in the States.
very much
He
so.
talks like a rapper.
He does.
Frivolous with money. And so these guys have a motive too, that they want to try to get an investor for their dream project, which is a video game, which is a wearable device that then the other players can control the person wearing it.
Much like Radio Player One. And
Ready Player One, yeah.
Very much like our beloved Pacific Rim.
So this is a gross out comedy. It's got a lot of these guys.
Very gross
a
out.
lot of dick jokes. A lot of dick being seen in this movie.
Being seen.
Yeah, I was shocked.
There was a shocking moment there where
Adam Devine shows his manhood.
You know, I saw him on a late night show.
And I'm pretty sure that's not a prosthetic. That's really him.
No. Well, I don't know if that was a prosthetic. When he's hanging, he's doing the David Carradine.
But then later he's running
in the closet.
You know, yeah.
But when he's doing the helicopter thing and he's just kind of going wing, swing, and he's whipping it around.
Yeah.
No, that was Adam.
Shocking.
And he even said his mother saw the film and she was very proud of him. She was very
happy
proud
of what he was given.
His schwanz is of a good size.
Well, I guess everybody likes to know their son is doing all right.
They love hot dog jokes. There you go. But I'll tell you, Nerd, you ought to check this out because I don't know if you get Netflix. I hope you do. But Adam Devine,
he's he's a talented, funny guy.
I gotta say this. That man steals every scene he's in.
Yeah, he's good.
He has a very strong sense of just a sincerity and a dynamicism. He projects very, very well. I enjoyed him in that real stupid movie he was in with Alexandra Daddario.
Yeah, you reviewed that like a month or two ago.
But no, actually about 3 weeks. I think it was while we were here.
It was one of the last. No, you reviewed that one of the last shows in our old environment.
Very well. Okay, which
in our old habitat.
Don't anyone around me with Netflix, but I know of it. There you go, Nerd.
Well, we got to get you on board.
I think he's living in, he might be living in Atlantis, under the ocean.
Nice.
I think that's where.
Are you friends with Aquaman by any chance?
Do you know Aquaman personally, dude?
But I'll say this about this movie.
This is over the top.
Over the top, to say the least.
To say the least.
But for that quality, it was entertaining.
This is slam bam. Thank you, man.
I didn't love it, but it was very entertaining.
It was very entertaining.
A lot of cameos, by the way.
A lot of blood, a lot of violence, a lot of explosions.
Daniel Stern playing a real sleazebag. I love that.
He was good. How much he's aged.
He's gotten old.
He is a sleazebag, but Daniel Stern, of course.
And your girl that you love is in this movie, Rona Mitra, who took over the third of the Underworld films. She was the female assassin.
Oh, that's who she was.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized her immediately. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
No, she was good. She's had a little
prosthetic
work
cast.
done on her face.
Little bit.
She looked a little bizarre.
And then also the female assistant manager of the hotel. She's very good in this. That's Aya Cash.
Oh, yeah.
She's in that show on FX called You're the Worst.
Not even worth mentioning.
No, but I like her because I like that show.
Okay.
And I wanted to mention her because it's nice to see her in another film.
There you go.
I like her. But it's a 2.5 star gross out comedy.
I thought it was a 3-star film.
Yeah, it was fun.
I thought it was more fun than that. I could watch this movie again.
It was a one-time viewing for me, but it was fun.
It was very entertaining. I mean, it is gross out, but it is
I didn't have a problem with that.
Way over the top.
Yeah.
I loved it. This is not for everybody. I think this is more geared towards an adolescent male, much like you, the Nerd.
Yeah.
Somebody in a kind of a subliminal, maybe lesser than 15 or 16 years old. But yes, you can watch Tomb Raider.
Yeah, we talked about Tomb Raider. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago?
Where were you, dude? Dude, where were you?
Yeah, we just discussed that one, buddy.
Yeah, we did that.
Oh no, that was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We loved the Tomb Raider.
We
so
enjoyed
go
it.
see it. There
we
you go.
enjoyed it. I'm not in the mood. I'll get back to you.
There
right
you go.
now.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
But
Game Over, man, it's entertaining. You know, I know he liked it a lot.
I thought it was fun.
I would give it a yes.
It was funny.
Yeah,
that's what you want from a comedy.
If you don't like bathroom humor,
it delivers the goods.
Sexual jokes, then it's not for you. But if you like that stuff, you'll enjoy the film.
If you're 14
like it, guys.
or 15,
you'll like it.
much like the Nerd, this is a film for you. The Nerd, you'd love this movie. I think this is the film for the Nerd. I think this film has Nerd written all over it.
Yeah.
If you look at the little pieces of cinema, you'll
see
says
Nerd approved.
Nerd. Has you written all over it, sir.
I wonder what celebrity Nerd looks like. Maybe he could tell us.
I think he looks like that.
He
fish.
or she.
I don't think he looks like that.
We don't know for
fish,
sure if
we
Nerd is a male.
We don't know what the Nerd is.
So you want to move on to the Titan?
The Nerd may be an inflatable sheep, as far as we know, which isn't too bad.
I was waiting for that.
It's not too bad.
Nice. So our next film is another Netflix original called The Titan. It's a science fiction film starring Sam Worthington, who you might remember from the Avatar film. Well, now the Avatar films, as they're making another 4.
And also, remember the Kraken.
The Clash of the Titan reboot, which I didn't think ever needed to be remade. The original is still great. I love it.
I did like Liam Neeson in both of those.
He was fun. I didn't see the second one. I didn't want to.
He was good.
Yeah, I like him.
Unleash the Kraken.
The Kraken. in, which was a fun part.
It was indeed.
It also stars Taylor Schilling as Sam Worthington's wife.
Taylor Schilling, of course, is
from
the
Orange
star
is the New Black.
Of Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Totally unrecognizable here. There
she's
she
very
is.
good. I like her as an actress.
She's
Very
dynamite.
likable.
Very likable,
Yeah.
but a damn good actress also.
This
Very
film,
real, felt real.
Yeah,
everything
no, I
about
thought
her.
she did a good job. She's getting good material.
She is indeed.
The premise is very simple.
There they are together.
It's set in a future where Earth is basically dying. They're a military family who embark on being a volunteer for a project to help terraform and colonize one of the moons on Saturn called Titan. And the twist is that they're not going to terraform the planet. They are going to change the genetic makeup of humans to be able to adapt to the harsh environment of the Titan moon.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting spin. That's a cool idea where we've seen movies like The Martian.
Tom Wilkinson is
yes,
in this.
Tom Wilkinson, who I love.
I love Tom.
Plays the doctor.
Plays the evil doctor.
The scientist.
There's Tom right over
I
there.
wouldn't say
Once
he's
again,
evil.
a brief bravura to our man Adam over
Thanks,
there.
Adam. Very
good. We say
very on point.
Chris says things. Adam doesn't know what he's doing. Adam, no, he never says.
No,
that.
I don't.
I'm just kidding. But I got to tell you, Tom Wilkinson in this film, he's
really
great.
Is
he's
the
always
ultimate
great.
bad
guy.
But he's not.
Fantastic.
I wouldn't say he's
But
evil.
bravo
He's
to you,
just
Adam.
driven for
It's
his
those
own.
pictures right.
Yeah, he does a great job.
He looks like Alfred Hitchcock. In fact,
a
he
little
looks
bit.
a little like me.
He's
from
got
the side.
He needs a chin girdle.
He needs a chin girdle.
Can you lend him yours?
I'd be happy to.
But Tom Wilkinson's great. He adds class to everything he does. I love him a lot.
I
And,
do
and in
too.
this film, he plays.
You should marry him,
He's
then.
the antagonist in a
He's
way.
very good.
And also in this film is I guess you say it's Natalie Emanuel, who it was the female astronaut.
Yes,
you could say astronaut,
absolutely,
soldier, and she was in Game of Thrones.
I know. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
oh, she's
excellent.
great.
I love her.
Game of Thrones. Oh
Yeah,
my
she's
God.
great.
She was
but
spectacular.
this
We've seen a
film-
film like this before, where somebody changed their genetic. I'm trying to think of what the heck it was, where somebody changes their genetic being
to go live on another planet, because this seemed like a new concept to me.
Okay. Well, there was in fact
it's a nice spin on a formula.
There was an old Outer Limits episode.
Okay.
Where somebody is turned into a monster. Is actually played by the man named Robert Culp.
Okay.
Used to be on a television show called I Spy.
Yes. With Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, in fact, who's now undergoing some harsh scrutiny in his life.
Yeah.
But
the proof is in the pudding.
There you go. I love that Jello pudding.
Yeah.
Boo, boo, boo. But did you like this film?
Yes, I did know they're filming all these Avatar films right now.
Yes, 2, 3, and 5, and they're all being done completely.
Yes.
The next two, I believe, are underwater.
Yeah, that's
They're all
cool.
done with amazing 3D cameras that James Cameron
state-of-the-art,
has
again,
done himself.
Yeah.
If any of you don't know what the hell we're talking about, it's because the Yo Nerd keeps coming up with little tidbits of
He
interest
does.
here.
But to answer your,
applaud you, sir.
Thank
I
you, sir.
applaud you.
To answer your question, I liked the Titan. I didn't love it, but I liked it because it presented a lot of cool ideas.
It did.
I love science fiction films that present an interesting concept. Gives us new ideas that I haven't seen before. Again, though, my complaint is that the film devolves into just, I don't want to say slasher territory, but like, people are after you and you're a threat, and I didn't like that. I wanted to see more of that. But at the end of the day, like you say, we judge the film we saw, and I would recommend it for an interesting film, but by no means is amazing. But I'm giving it a light yes.
It's on Netflix. It's easy to watch. I mean, it's a short film. It's an hour and a half
but
long.
it's well done and well acted.
You can't beat it in a
well
way.
Photographed.
And the makeup towards the end is
very good.
He's slowly transformed into a fish-like creature.
Yeah.
He can stay underwater for
long
periods of time. Also to adapt to the incredible frigid temperatures there on this moon of Saturn called Titan. And our final scene in the film, and I
don't want to give it away.
Well,
it's a spoiler. Don't give it away, but it's a cool shot.
There is a process, however, of going that is kind of passed over.
Yeah.
The transportation
That was
aspect.
interesting.
But at the same time, I did like the Titan. I like Sam Waterston a lot.
Sam Worthington.
Sam Worthington. Yeah. I liked him. He was in.
I actually say I think I liked him in this more than I've liked him in a long time.
Well, you know something? I loved him in Avatar, of course.
Yeah, he was good in that, of course.
In
yeah.
that. This is almost an Avatar-like
little
being
bit.
once again. But he was just recently in a spy movie where he's running around with a little girl. It was Prayer for...
Oh, yeah.
Pray for dying, not Pray
not
for dying.
Not Prayer for the Dying, because that's a movie with Mickey Rourke, I think.
It was something with the prayer in it, and Sam is in it. He runs around with a little girl, and actually she's
Was
the
it
girl.
like the Assassin's Prayer or something like that?
Yeah, I believe you're right,
yeah.
sir. Why don't you look that up, Oh Nerd?
Yeah.
Hey, look, Oh Nerd's actually a chick. Hey, guys.
Yeah. Oh, and I had a
go.
thought that I meant to say. It escaped me during our conversation of Ready Player One, but the film to me it felt like. To me, it spoke to the battle we're having currently for net neutrality. Saving the oasis, saving the internet, keeping it free for everybody. It kind of felt like, to me, it was tipping its hat to a very relevant issue that's happening right now in our world, that the corporations are trying to control for their own gain.
True.
And control
it's
information.
It's a shame you didn't mention that when it would have been relevant.
I know. I wanted to mention it eventually because I meant to.
It's a complete waste of time. Nobody gets it.
Doesn't matter.
It's beyond it. Nobody cares.
All right. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to cover
to Coco.
Coco, now available on Amazon. Disney Pixar's newest film.
There you go. This won Best Animated Film at the Academy
and Best
Awards.
Original Song.
This most recent Academy Awards
which
for
now
the
that
year 2017.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yes, no, you're right. Now that I've seen the film, I can understand why it won Best Song. It's a touching song.
It is. It represents the remembering of family and
I
love.
understand that.
This is a film purely about family.
It is.
This is about a little boy who idolizes his grandpapa, who is a great musician.
Yeah,
there
great-grandfather,
in town. He then goes over a bridge into the land of the dead, where he
another dimension, basically, the spirit world.
75% of the film there.
Yeah, he does.
And he goes into this world and he sees all his dead relatives.
To find his great-grandfather.
There's a wonderful aspect of this film that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
That if you if somebody doesn't keep a photograph
of
the person around
in the living world,
correct?
Yeah.
That they will disappear in the land of the dead. And it's just a little conceptual, spiritual kind of aspect of this film. I'll tell you something. At the end of this movie, I was a bloody piece of
my wife.
baby.
Yeah.
I was crying my eyes
This
out.
is a beautiful film.
It really
I loved it.
I did too.
I was amazed at how much love. Gorgeous, beautiful.
Visually,
it's so colorful.
It's like in 3D.
It's incredible.
It's so amazing
Great.
to watch this thing.
What a joy.
And to watch it unfold. The little boy is played very much a little boy his very own age.
His name is Anthony Gonzalez. He's very good.
He's literally about 12 years old.
He meets another character in this film called Hector, played by Gael Garcia Bernal, who plays kind of a misfit. Yeah, he's a misfit kind of a guy. Whoa, no spoilers. Don't give anything away.
Maybe not.
No spoilers. And then Benjamin Bratt does the voice of his great-grandfather.
Does he?
Yeah, the big
didn't
musician.
Even recognize him.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But this film is gorgeous. It's a risky, bold film.
A lovely film.
That I loved it. I was shocked.
I did too. I did too.
I watched it on Easter. I loved it.
And when he's talking to Grandmama there at the end, it was
Grandma Coco.
It was all about family.
Yeah.
And there's a very
gorgeous.
We all come from a family, except you, oh nerd. You just somebody spit and
he
it
wasn't
grew.
Hatched, was he?
Somebody spit and it grew. I heard they just like spit on and it just grew into the oh nerd. Or there was like a rock. There was like a rock somewhere, and he just kind of crawled out from under them. We don't know where you come from, oh Ned, but we do praise you from time to time in a rather subliminal, pathetic way. But at the same time, we don't care. But
all right.
That's that. But I love this film.
It's wonderful.
It's a family movie. It is about our history. It is about thank you, Taylor. And it's about family. It's about the love of family and family loving
family relations.
Their loving family. And for that reason alone, I big thumbs up for this film.
Huge yes
Didn't
for me
expect
too.
To.
Yeah.
I'm not a big animation guy.
I know you're not.
As you may know.
Yes.
But I bought this film.
Pixar does the best of them.
I paid money for it.
I'm happy you did.
Which I did, and I'm glad that I did because I will watch this film again.
It's
a little lengthy.
Gorgeous film.
It's an hour and 45 minutes. It could have been a little shorter, I think. I don't think it needed to be quite so long to drive its point home. But at the same time, there's a whole big end scene there that takes place on stage.
Oh, it's great.
It's really a wonderful little piece of work.
It's a wonderful little film.
And bless you all, my children.
I'm just happy that Pixar, Disney, they're doing some very different types of movies. They're pushing stories that you wouldn't traditionally think of.
True.
I mean, who would have thought that we'd see a movie about the Land of the Dead celebration, and then we'd go into that spirit world, and it was just a fun, different,
and yet
heartwarming film.
It's light.
It's a nice film to watch.
It's heavy
with the whole family. As you always say, with the whole family.
It's a movie that makes you want to stand up and cheer.
Yeah, it does.
And that's what it does.
Honestly, I think it's already etched itself as a classic.
It really is.
It's a beautiful little film.
Wonderful little film. I don't think there's going to be a Coco 2.
Well, I hope it's not one of those movies that in 10 years Coco does a live action version of. We don't need that.
You know,
well, maybe.
You never know.
I don't
know.
You never
it would
know.
be cool as a live action film. I think they could pull it off in today's incredible technological world.
Maybe they'll have the great grandfather played by Jose Feliciano.
Only got a few minutes left here. I just want to go into my flashback.
Oh, he's doing a quick flashback. Yeah.
Flashback, back.
And I actually really want to see this one. I didn't get a chance to get to it this week.
It's called The Night of the Generals. It comes from 1967. This is right after Peter O'Toole did Lawrence of Arabia.
Yes.
Omar Sharif was also in Lawrence of Arabia, and then he went on to be in Dr. Zhivago.
No, we don't. We don't have that, oh nerd.
These are big, epic. No, we don't, sir. We do not. But there it is. There's the poster right there.
Night of the
Peter
Generals.
O'Toole is
looks
spectacular
great.
in this.
Omar Sharif?
Well, Omar Sharif, as you say, he looks very young.
Yeah.
He is actually quite miscast.
Oh, really?
He's playing a German
Well, yeah,
major.
I don't see him as a German.
He talks with a very strong kind of Arabic accent, and he talks like this through the entire film. And but Peter O'Toole is vicious and evil, and from the core, he represents that very essence of that SS Nazism that we are so familiar with on this planet Earth, looking back at the historical world that we all come from, as far as Germany has imploded itself within our very aspects of evil and so forth. So
you can't get a movie villain better than the Nazis. You just can't.
There is something that I don't love about the film, however. It does have a tendency towards the end of the film to jump. It jumps years ahead, and you don't really know it does.
Oh, they don't tell you?
They don't tell you that it's jumping 20 years from now or 10 years from now. You just get to that point, and then...
And does it jump back?
And well, suddenly somebody is being honored at a 1965 kind of reunion thing, and so we're in 1965 now. So you're just kind of pulled by the nose, much like Oh Nerd does to us.
Yes.
To this entire barrage of idiocy that he writes continually throughout our show. But I got to say, I really enjoyed The Night of the Generals. Just great to see. And Christopher Plummer is in this. He plays Rommel. I mean, we just have some wonderful...
Donald Pleasance is in this.
Donald Pleasance, right from, that evil kind of guy that he was in The Great Escape and Halloween. We've got some great actors going on here. It's a kick, man.
Great.
All right, sir. I think we're right about it that time.
That's our show. We're just at an hour.
That's our show, dude.
Yeah.
And we did it. We
flew through it. I didn't think we were going to be able to do it.
We've zipped by.
We did.
We've done that zip.
You did a fast forward through a couple of the Netflix films, but that's okay. Some movies don't need you don't need lingering.
Underground Calamity. I think we may know Calamity. Do we know Calamity?
I don't know Calamity.
I don't know, but
it's a calamity that we don't know Calamity.
It's a calamity, though.
We apologize for our bad puns.
All right, folks.
But we enjoyed tonight.
We'll
see you guys next week.
We hope you're back.
We're going to cover Quiet Place.
8 o'clock.
And feel free, if you want to check out back episodes, not only on Be Terrific, check it out on YouTube. Film Banter on YouTube.
Film Banter.
Email us, filmbanter@gmail.com. Reach out.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Adios.
All the best.
Road. Yeah, going on now. Yeah, Mr.